Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. A match today on Langre. Oh, not bloody well Langre, my apologies. It is Angoville. Of course, it is the plains of Angoville. It's the village of Angoville. The Angoville Ango. Yes, indeed. 1 vs 1, fighting with the Americans. It shall be Nighthawk 56, fighting for the 8th Infantry Division. Opposing him shall be Axte of the 272nd Grenadier Division, as the Americans are trying to break out of the Cotentin Peninsula and all that. Wait, they didn't fight there. Oh, never mind. All a bit, hurried up. My apologies. And of course, right through there, of course, fighting. This is the Monday Novice fight. I'm a bit in a hurry and a sort of course, trying to sort of speed things up, trying to sort of cut things down, in particular since I had to spend an awful lot of time with yesterday's game, which is a rather exciting one, featuring Devem versus Notakatomo. High-ranking players, of course. But there you go. Had to spend a lot of time, and of course I do end up spending a lot of time with these casts, checking through replays, perhaps checking through a second time, wanting to be sure I cast a proper one. And of course this is the Monday Novice fight. Sadly they are perhaps not complete novices, they're around rank 11, I think rank 10, but for some reason I felt more of an impetus to actually go for this one, since it featured some more sort of middle floors. And of course I suppose that's not fully novice, but Troll was the other novice fights, at least the ones I had to look at. Well, featured either some opponents who really had some terrible ideas, and for which I didn't feel there was enough to learn off, and there were some very odd things which, again, I don't really feel you could learn a lot from as such. I mean, I also tried to keep things interesting, and of course it's a bit the problem. Of course I could have gone through more, but again, I've got a huge amount of replays. I mean, the amount of replays I can get during a week is absolutely crazy. For example, now I just got, for example, Devem. Okay, the guy who sent in the cast yesterday, for example, sent me a huge pack featuring 50 replays or something like that. 50! Plus the other 20 to 30 I got through the week. I mean, Christ. So my apologies, of course, if things do get a bit slippery from time to time, but this is sadly a bit of a busy time for me. I've got exams coming up and all that. I've got to wrap things up before Christmas, so yes, I am sorry things might be slipping a bit around too much for my liking even, but I do keep casting. I do like to provide, of course, as much as possible. Of course, I'll be having a rather interesting little program while I'm away, having my little holiday. There won't be a Monday Novice fight next week, but there should be, so hopefully, some rather interesting high-level games. But Fulton is advancing, and of course, again, these will sort of be players who have the sort of basics under control. Could be they even watch my cast, or at least one of them has, perhaps even both. But of course, focusing on the west, of course, again, focus with the Wehrmacht in the beginning, at least on sort of one half of the map. I mean, sometimes you can sort of try to spread out, but you really have to be careful, because again, an American player who's good can catch you with that and really beat you into the ground repeatedly. I've certainly felt that when sometimes I got a bit too clever, a bit too aggressive for my own good, and then I got punched in the nose by an American who say, "Not on my watch, kraut." For Volkskandidates advancing on the riflemen, of course, other Volkskandidates might want to support the first ones. The Volkskandidates of the 272nd finding a way. No, yes, there was also the 272nd Volkskandidat Division, but that's for another time. It was first an Infantry Division, finding among other places in Normandy. Further Volkskandidates moving into support, and of course, Nighthawk 56 gets out of there, rather realizing his men won't do much good. At the same time, sending in a team sneaking through here, perhaps hoping to do a bit of harassment, cutting off the fuel and the munitions, of course. Nice, clever move. 3 infantry teams on the field so far. Nothing else from Axte. Axte, yes, indeed, a bit of an odd name. Not Axe or Axton, but sort of Axte. I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Nighthawk 56 at least sounds a bit more proper, something you can actually pronounce. And of course, a good thing to note is, again, he's sort of mining the right here, the crossing, the middle road. Good move there, certainly something for you more new players to note. And of course, again, also note, secondly, it's a road, and roads are really great places to mine, not just because of the negative cover, but also because vehicles tend to take roads, of course, as a sort of swift movement to get from point A to B. And of course, mining a road is a pretty good way to get some vehicles knocked out in most cases. Pioneers advancing against the rifle, might want to get pull back, Axte, pull back. Unit preservation, no! Oh dear, that was ridiculously close. Axte, you tosser. And going for a sniper right away. Of course, the Americans were able to cut off, and now in fact things are very swiftly falling apart. Pioneers need to... Enemy unit. And already here, Axte sort of things fall apart for him, He didn't catch the rifle here much too late, because he was trying to advance through here, not trying to look out for stragglers. Now he's cut off, lacking in fact mostly in territory. And his Volkskandidates might be cut off and attacked from all sides. No! And that seems a bit of... No, wait, there we go. Rifleman moving in. Snipers also sniping away. Or at least they should be. 2 kills so far. Sniping on the engineers, not the riflemen, which are currently the greater threat. Volksgun is firing at every direction, except the riflemen closest to them who are in greatest numbers. And rifleman just attacking now. Nighthawk pushing in everything he has. Volksgun is taking losses. One rifleman team escapes. Sniper needs to get a beat on things. MG42 setting up, opening up on the riflemen in the north, forcing them away, leaving behind only one team for Nighthawk, but already here, Nighthawk has made a pretty huge, advantage, a great victory, although it looks like Pioneers are moving in towards the east now, including some replacement Pioneers. Volksgun is taking as many points as they can. Sniper sort of advancing, perhaps hoping to catch some riflemen. Luring, waiting next to an American corpse, not entirely sure what he's hoping for, perhaps hoping for some mumbling from a dying man. "We are over there. Please don't shoot my friends." "I can't guarantee anything, my American friend." That could certainly be an idea, but you're also very silly. But again, I don't think dying people in the most parts are, known for being awfully sensible. Volksgun is advancing. Still not supported. MG42 advancing here to up to this at least nice little Wehrmacht barricade. Oh, come on. A bit of unit preservation, a bit of an eye of what's going on there. You ought to know there's some riflemen sneaking about there. Sniper moving in. Volksgun is getting reinforced. Nothing further on the way from that. In fact, nothing else seems to be going on in this space. He's just securing these points here. What is he up to? Axte. Either get some more troops on the field or get something else. And Nighthawk 56 certainly also floating a bit too many resources. Again, be careful about floating resources. It's not necessarily the best thing to do, unless you have a very specific purpose. Like, for example, getting a motor pool, I suppose. But even then, you're 500 manpower. Get another rifleman team. Get some more engineers. Get a medic station up. Get something, mate. And the same applies to you, Axte. I'm pretty sure you've got quite a few resources also floating about. Sniper and MG42 providing a curious combination team. Volksgun is advancing, but they are negative cover against riflemen. Not in negative cover, a heavy cover. This is a very bad spot to fighting in. Generally, negative cover is where you want to catch the enemy, not find your own troops fighting a prolonged fight. Sniper and MG moving in, home to catch the rifleman. Rifleman goes down, MG40 sitting up. And there we go, rifleman getting suppressed. There we go, Volksgun is cut move in to counter-attack now, catching the rifleman in between. Rifleman moving in from the north, no flamethrower engineers. Other riflemen standing out. And in fact, the entire east is very open. There's been absolutely no attempt by Nighthawk to actually mine this. Quite the shame. Creekbags now going up for Axte. Rifleman getting sniped, rifleman getting shot, rifleman dying, rifleman screaming, crying, and bleeding. Which all should rhyme in some manner or another. But certainly now, Axte has been using this sort of bit of passivity and not properly fortifying the east to quickly counterattack. But there we go, the T-17 armored car is ready, yes indeed, Staghound. Except, of course, the Americans never really used it in greater numbers. That was more the British. And as last I checked, the Americans weren't British. Laying down a mine here, good move, again trying to sort of mine choke points off if possible. These spots, for example, are very great to mine. Of course, there's not an area to maneuver in, which of course means the troops will be a bit more clumped up, and of course there's also just a generally higher chance of hitting the damn mine. MG42 advancing, retreat, oh dear. And getting hit, and there we go, retreating. This could in fact look like a full retreat for Axte towards his base. Now going also for the Kampfkraft Center, hoping to deliver the Kampfkraft of the Third Reich into his troops. And rifleman standing awfully close to a mine, sort of debating, is there a mine, Hank? I don't know, Joe. I have that feeling in my leg, just like I did in... And then Joe, Hank, and Joey Bob died. There we go. T-17 on the move, and of course we do have the Pak-38, but again it has been a bit delayed. Again, rather unfortunate mistake there. But at least he went for a Pak-38, not like other players who have decided not to go for one. Pak-38, no, T-17 has taken one hit from the Pak-38, the Panzerwehrkanone, and now the Panzerfaust opening up. The Panzerfaust clearly not as powerful as it was in real life, though. That was quite effective, although it did have a rather short range, where the early versions were actually a bit weaker. But it was certainly a rather innovative sort of anti-tank weapon. Basically, a disposable anti-tank rocket, which has rather been, copied throughout time, because everyone basically figured, well, that's pretty damn clever, Joe. Let's get that. T-17 trying to get away. And one final Panzerfaust up the arse. And the T-17 goes down. Wehrmacht once more ready to move out. Pak-38 needs support. And the sniper, oh dear. Scharfschütze. Sniper König. And the riflemen move past him. Oh, hello, I'm a fellow American. Do not notice me. And of course, in those cases, again, you want to be careful about, having a sniper behind enemy lines. That tends to be not the good thing. Again, consider a sniper a support unit, and support units should always sort of be behind your infantry or something else, not, standing about out in the open where they could easily be flanked. And now the Wehrmacht Axte forces shifting towards these. Let's go have a look at Axte, who has gone for the Blitzkrieg. Yes, indeed, the Blitzkrieg. Sturmtruppen, Veterans 1, self-healing. Stoßtruppen, or SS Panzergrenadier of the 17th SS, providing a bit of firepower. Could, of course, also be from the 9th or 10th SS, which lent a reconnaissance battalion to the 17th SS, which actually meant the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division was actually pretty heavily over-reinforced with infantry. Funny that. And of course, nice to see Nighthawk 56 actually going for a second armored car. I do sadly see a lot of Americans, which is a bit of a flaw, sort of figuring, well, my first armored car went up in flames. Clearly, I should never get another one. That's just going to end up in tears, rather than sort of figuring, well, perhaps I did something wrong with the first one, but perhaps, a second one might do the trick. An armored car is not the worst thing, though. Again, sending in a T-17 to harass a base, well, generally the Greyhound is much better due to the mining ability, which can really cause a mess in a base. And a bit of an interesting maneuver here, using the Stormtroopers to scout for the snipers, of course, cloaked there, but now Stormtroopers are advancing. T-17 advancing on the troops in the east. Pioneers under fire, need to retreat. False grenades pulling away. No mines laid down. That could have been nice, a fresh mine there. Some mines places are just good for mining. Engineers with flamethrowers advancing, getting shot down. And we do see a medic station up for a Nighthawk. Medics advancing. American medics hoping the SS stays friendly this time around. Looks like they are.
We're losing territory.
And actually, I don't think that's an SS pattern camouflage. They did have their own sort of rather unique, but then again, let's not get too caught up in that. Storms advancing, other engineers running away. No mines from Nighthawk. No barbed wire, no sandbags. Again, you can place those things down as the Americans with, engineers. Just sort of fun fact there. Rifleman goes down, shot in the face by the Stoßtruppen, the Sturmtruppen, the SS Panzergrenadier. Now getting the Panzerschreck. Certainly nice that. Very dreaded weapon. Could have penetrated. Oh, come on, again, when you have a wrecked vehicle in your base, salvage the munitions, sort of repeat after me, salvage the munitions. And of course, again, also a quick note about Novice Monday fights. There does seem to be a bit of an issue of some players sort of just saying, oh, well, this is crap. Yes, it's the Monday Novice fight and not, high time television casting or whatever. I have to sort of show some more flaws in those sort of casts to also point things out. Of course, also give the more newer players some sort of way to shine off. And of course, sometimes that might of course lead to me accidentally offending one. It shouldn't always be seen as that. Though, I can of course make misjudgments, but again... And again, if I don't cast you, it might not even be because of you. It might just be because one of your opponents is pretty much rubbish. There are some games where I don't throw it away because, well, that guy is terrible. I'm throwing it away because, well, that guy he's up against is terrible. Anyhow, engineers getting gunned down by the MD-42. Need to get away. There we go. Stormtroopers only 9. T-17 clearing out the Pack 38 with a few good shots. Bunker is up, but... oh dear again. Quick Monday Novice type. And that also applies to medic stations. Be careful where you're placing them. Right out in the middle of it, bloody everything. It might not be the best spot, for example, right here, close to the base, or at least, right here in more safe territory where your enemy can't, directly see to fire it, Same here. Perhaps a bit over here. You have to be careful, otherwise you might suddenly find your light ends collapsing, and then you've got an exposed medic station or medic bunker and a problem and a headache. But a bit of infantry to infantry, medic bunker on the way, anti-tank are not recruited as of yet, half-track ready. Crewing it with Stormtroopers, not the best idea. Use Pioneers. That's my preference. All 3 victory points in the hands of the Americans. No attempt to take it, Speed up your actions a bit, Axte. Speed them up. Medics pulling in the wounded. And there we go, of course, advancing. And of course, there we go. Medic station exposed. Panzerschreck target. Medic stations were not built to withstand Panzerschrecks. And of course, a single engineer just moving about, seizing territory what they can here. Still no attempt to take that way. There we go. MD-42 advancing to right cover. Good, good. But no Pack. Oh, there we go. Pack 38 recruit by Volksgrenadiere. Moving up. Pulling it up with speed and swiftness. Medic bunker is down. Using the half-track and, of course, the MG. And something tells me this is a pretty good artillery target. A lot of units. Awfully close. T-17 under fire. And I'd rather feel they should spread out a bit, just a bit, a little bit. Oh dear, Axte. Be careful, spread out. No, he is holding out, and there we go, the artillery goes in. T-17 out of control though, so that's really nice, but really there, not good at all. Takes a bit of time to actually get out of there, and he probably could have saved a bit. Oh dear. Nighthawk hitting his own troops with artillery. That's also another rule, you know, in artillery business. Try not to hit your own men. It's less than amazing. Half-tech suppressing, of course, though you have to be careful about not letting troops getting too close. False grenadiers and half-tech holding all of these nasty troops at bay. Need reinforcement, and he's going for veterancy free 15 minutes into the game. And of course, I'm coming a bit with, you know, personal opinion against you. Novices are no veterancy free gives, you know, a 20% health bonus, or was it 30 still? It seems nice, but it's 300 manpower and 70 fuel. I mean, sometimes there's a time for veterancy free, and sometimes there's a time for getting, you know, something bigger. In this case, you know, I might recommend something like, you know, perhaps getting this Sturm Armory up, getting some Stuks with a armored car. More artillery being called in. Oh dear, the Pak 38, of course, being the primary target. It's a really nice target, you know. But, you know, be careful, although it seems like he's actually doing some damage to Nighthawk, who seems having a problem getting his troops out in time. Pak 38 down. But, again, veterancy free. Not the sort of thing I recommend. I'd also recommend sort of getting this. I mean, again, a Sturm Armory would have been better. Perhaps also getting him a Stug or an armored car. I mean, a bit of mechanization in this case would be the better tool. And of course, now with the Sherman on the field, of course, this is me sort of talking in hindsight. Of course, that's always the easy thing to do. And certainly what a lot of people, you know, like to do in my comments sometimes, you know, well, I would have done that, or you should have done that. And of course, that is a bit of a problem with this. You can't get a bit to no ego on just talking in hindsight. Even I do it. And certainly I try to avoid it, but, you know, I have to sort of try and teach, so of course that it does involve a bit of hindsight. But Rifleman and Engineers advancing, supported by the Sherman, that's only going to be a bit of a problem. And, of course, there's another problem with Stormtroopers sort of providing the main asset. Of course, the Pak 38 has been recruited. Actually, it's time for the mid-game analysis. Exciting stuff, and it'll be a bit brief, but, you know, holding sort of most of the territory, breaking through here. MG42 here, not supporting the infantry, though. Not entirely keen on that, but again, he's sort of made a bit of a blunder with the veterancy free, you know, leaving him a bit unable with any sort of more mobile armored assets. And now the Sherman will certainly be punishing him for that, and there might even be more artillery being arrayed. And again, that medic station medic bunker won't be lasting long. Of course, he might be able to hold it, but really that Sherman is going to be a bit of a problem because it doesn't care about elite armor. I mean, and the extra health won't be a protection against a direct hit from that gun. So that is rather the issue with veterancy free. I mean, it's great against infantry and all that, but if you're facing off against the Sherman, it's not going to be doing you an awful lot of good. But let us return to the fight. I mean, Axte really needs to get his act together. He needs to knock out that Sherman. Of course, he could clear out that infantry with some luck. MG42 is now moving in. And of course, he has been able to really successfully ground down Nighthawk's troops, which I'm not sure if means Nighthawk has not been taken. And of course, calling in another artillery barrage. I mean, he seems to have a lot of artillery and a lot of munitions. So he's certainly been husbanding it good. Of course, he could also use it on mines, but he's really getting the most effect for it. And trouble is, right here, of course, Axte seems to have a bit of an unfortunate tendency of climbing up his anti-tank gun in a way that rather makes it going to be hit by something else. And he certainly doesn't seem to be uncloaking it. I mean, also very important, if your anti-tank gun is under the sort of red smoke of the artillery, uncloak it immediately and get it moving. I mean, if you don't do that, it's going to get knocked out. Cloaking does not provide protection against artillery. It's not like the shell will go, hey, wait, where's that Pak 38? Well, I'll just have to explode here and nothing will happen. You need to bloody well get it out of there, otherwise it's going to get knocked out. And again, speed tends to help that. Of course, now he's getting a fresh Pak 38. But really, I don't think, you know, that going for veterancy free was the key. He's sort of spent those resources on getting something a bit more heavily armored, something that could take on infantry and the Sherman a bit better fight. And now Rangers have joined it in as well, ready with the bazookas. Stormtrooper sneaking away and slightly getting spotted, but will he cloak again? Will the Rangers sort of casually ignore him? Rangers getting sniped. Stormtroopers cloaked again. No attempt to really stop those Rangers. Pack 38 advancing. Bunker up once more. Sherman moving through here. Still no mine there. Oh dear, oh dear. Medic bunker going up again. Medic upgrades. Rangers firing up, running away. Most of the territory has been lost to Axte again. Sort of why I'm showing this as a Monday Novice fight. Of course, he does have a lot of good basics, but you know, we're seeing some higher level of Novice mistakes. You know, this sort of thinking, you know, Veterancy 3 will save me. It's sort of the... I'm not entirely sure what sort of category I'd sort of rate this Novice mistake in. There's sort of the basic Novice, there's this sort of advanced, and then there's sort of thing, well, that seems powerful, I go for it mistake. Basically, you know, like some players, I can always sort of spot them because they go for a lot of Ostvens or armored cars. I mean, yes, in a sort of sense, they're great, but there's also a certain lack of ability to handle numerous situations that rather make them a bit, you know, problematic. And of course, Veterancy 3 doesn't really provide protection against a Sherman tank. Veterancy 2 doesn't even do that. Tank position up there, and that's actually a bit of a bad position. Lots of Volksgrenadiers. Veterancy 3 getting Veterancy 1 for support units. Not bad, but again, assault phase and a storm armory really would be the main priority here for me right now. A Pack 38 is nice, of course, but no idea why he's trying to sneak it up the main road. But again, I mean, you generally want some sort of thing like a Stuke. Then, of course, you could support that with a Pack 38 or some Panzerschrecks, but I'd rather not recommend trying to deal with a Sherman using only a Pack 38. One Sherman can, in fact, unless you're really unfortunate, would have planned it very well with lots of tank traps, mines, all sorts of nasty things, that Sherman will outflank you and clear out your anti-tank gun in seconds. Of course, not pressing heavily towards these Stormtroopers, doing nothing against that Sherman. They could have hit it in the rear. Pack 38 once more advancing. Wehrmacht securing what little they can. The 272nd clearly not doing too well, getting beaten up. Volksgrenadiers hanging about, lounging about. Half-track still there, though, on the land from some Panzer Division, I suppose. Sherman pulling back. Interestingly enough, Nighthawk is completely abandoning the field. Of course, at the same time, I mean, he is actually doing something clever here. He's not sending in his Sherman without infantry support. And that, of course, is a lot of mistakes some players do. You know, charging in their armor without support. In this case, of course, he's waiting because he has no infantry in these. He's pulling it back. And then he immediately moves to contradict me by moving in that Sherman. Come on, please give me a chance here. You know, I'm trying to cast a game. Oh well, second Sherman on the way. And of course, note again, I mean, I might sound a bit harsh, but, you know, it's sort of my way to sort of be a bit, you know, get the point across. Because, again, I mean, if I do, you know, sound a bit, you know, harsh in a sort of jovial, silly, Victorian manner, I might hope it rather sticks a bit more. Plus, it doesn't feel so harsh if you know, just say, "You're a damn noob." Which I know some players like to do, you know, just call other noobs, saying they don't, you know, do the magical micro dance or whatever. You know, I'm trying to analyze the deeper decisions as well. Rather than getting absolutely slaughtered, you know, be careful about charging in against an MG42 like that. And of course, near here. And right here, of course, Axte is doing quite well, of course, with concentrating his defenses. And he's really having a much better luck of it right in the west. And of course, the close quarters, which sometimes can prove to be to the advantage of the rifleman, has now turned against Nighthawk. And he's taking an absolute beating. Absolutely horrific. Even the Sherman is forced away. Stormtroopers are a bit exposed, but the Sherman has taken quite a bit of damage. Second one is ready, and we're seeing a second Pack 38. I know, really, again, salvage ammunitions, get Storm Armory up, and now more Rangers. Nighthawk apparently sending in a lot of elite infantry. I mean, Rangers certainly do get the advantage of elite armor. It's basically the sort of advanced thing that Grenadiers and Stormtroopers get at Veterancy 2. Oh wait, Flaps decided to be a bit silly there on my computer there. Pack 38 opening up on the Sherman. Submachine guns getting equipped for the Rangers. Thompson submachine gun. Sounding quite an effective one, but it wasn't really cheap to produce. Which was rather the problem, which was rather the Americans tried with the grease gun, which was basically their attempt at creating the MP40, I believe. And Rangers charging forwards, of course. Note again, you know, firing up also makes you easier to hit. In some senses, because again, you don't get the protection from suppression. But they do manage to clear out one pack in a rather bold move, taking 2 losses. Of course, note elite armor, which of course also means Rangers at regular state, are in fact incredibly easy for snipers to hit. So I'm sure that sniper's quite happy. 14 kills so far. But he needs to be pushing on a bit more now, it looks like. He's slowing down a bit. Axte needs to push on. He needs to, do a bit of harassment over here, something. He needs that damn Sturm Armory, but again, he seems to be a bit too keen. Let's go have a look quickly. Yes, I don't like that. Not one bit at all. And no veterancy for the half-track, sadly. Medic bunker is still there, but he needs a bit more confidence, a bit more drive, and he needs some goddamn Stuks or Sturmgeschütz, that is, or something else, I don't know, but a bit more than just this. And he needs, yes, there we go, he's finally taking some territory. Packs covering, but nothing covering the packs. Engineers charging forward, home to clear out this area, but getting sniped, but there's no other infantry support units. And riflemen sneaking through here, could be throwing grenades over the hedge and firing at the bunker with the bazookas. This area is of course very exposed.
Enemy unit down.
Oh dear, the engineer got burned alive. No, the sniper got burned alive, not the engineer. Unless the sniper was disguised as an engineer. And of course, no, there's one problem with the Angoville south start for the Wehrmacht. I mean, several, because in particular we try the east. There's these sort of problems right here. There's, for example, here where you can sneak about through here and attack through the south quite unopposed, because the MG bunkers right here are not covering very well, and that of course leads to the second problem. Huge gap right here. Huge gap. In fact, your enemy can waltz right into your base. And now this MG42 needs to set up Axte. And now the Germans are charging forwards under fire against the Pack 38s. Stormtroopers, the Panzerschrecks, dual Panzerschrecks. In fact, of course, means they all have it, and of course they're forced to retreat. They're gone. Sherman down. MG42 cleared out. Another Sherman could in fact go down. Oh dear, you should be quick to move up and not having them hang about near troops with Panzerschrecks, because again, Panzerschrecks are close-range weapons. They're sort of also great for, urban warfare, but oh dear, looks like the Sherman will be getting out there just barely. Rangers charging in for Uncle Sam, leading the way through the darkness. Pioneers salving the half-tracks, but not apparently the vehicle in the base. Another MG42 moving forward, sniper supporting. Volksgrenadiers charging forwards with nothing to help them. Sniper opening up on the Rangers. Volksgrenadiers taking extreme losses. Other Rangers moving in. Pioneers now only thing holding in the line. Pack 38's rather exposed. Pioneers need to retreat. Pioneer team down. And he has absolutely no infantry because he's lost most of it. And of course the other ones are dual equipped with Panzerschrecks, and thus can't deal with the Rangers. And now the Rangers are just charging from every angle at the MG42, although these chaps are getting suppressed. Or getting shot at least, there we go. Taking some loss because again they're clammed up. That of course means incremental damage, meaning they take more damage. Or they're easy to hit, I can't remember either bit of it. And grenade on the house, clearing out the gunner. That was absolutely a heavy loss and a beating for Axte. Very little infantry left, and just again a brief quick, very close to getting the 5th command point, allowing him the Tiger. Might be the thing to turn around. In fact, let's speed this up a bit, just so it doesn't take too long. Volksgrenadiers charging forwards for Uncle Sam. Heedless of the danger. Stormtroopers was also moving in, but again, not quite, ready to take on infantry again. Dual Panzerschrecks, not the most effective infantry combination. A single assault rifle would have done the trick. Getting fired at by riflemen. Stormtroopers not responding. Pack 38s. Not entirely sure what he's trying to do there. He's putting them way too far back. And of course, note the Hippocars will block most of the line of fire. Another Sherman ready after the first one has been repaired. 14 kills on that one, by the way. Good job, Nighthawk. Rather than getting sniped, Sherman charging forwards full speed. And of course, no packs to protect. Oh dear, they're too far away. This position is much too exposed. Another Grenadiers and Stormtroopers need to get away. And the MG42 has also been pushed far too. Now the pack forward. The 38s, of course, rushing forwards. Sherman getting dual hit. Veterancy 2. Stormtroopers running into the building. Engineers getting suppressed. Homing to perhaps blast away the Panzerschrecks from the windows. Sherman down. That was quite tragic. Engineers cannot blast it out. But the Sherman kills the MG gunners. Oh dear, this is an absolute nightmare for Axte. One which he sadly has created for himself. Engineers getting sniped. Stormtroopers forced out of the building due to the fire. Pack 38 rushing. Oh dear, this could easily end up badly. Sniper getting scorched. Oh, he's No idea why he's doing that. Of course, now the Sherman is just basically running around the pack. 38's clearing them out.
Enemy unit down.
Axte, Axte, Axte. You don't use packs like that. They're support weapons. Support. Oh dear. And again, that sort of thing to remember. Packs are support weapons. Do not try to hunt units with them. At least not around a building. Damn it, of course, now it's getting exposed and cleared out in seconds by all of these very exhausted rangers who, even when exhausted, will do this very swiftly. And of course, now there's only a half track left. Though Nighthawk has certainly suffered his own losses, but still nothing quite compared to Axte. And let's speed this up a bit. Again, there's not much going to be happening for this stage of the fight, despite all this stuff. Counter-attacking immediately. And the sad thing is, I mean, at this very stage, Axte is in fact has about close to 300 munitions, but he's not using anything. Not grenades, not infantry upgrades. Not even a Goliath, you know, a bit of explosive self-propelled, you know, there. And grenades getting locked at his grenadiers. Not doing a killing blow there, though. One grenadier goes down, though, to a bazooka shot. Half-track moving up to support. Not a man, of course. Stormtroopers doing a bit of work here in the west. Sherman advancing. Full grenades are rather exposed. Need to get reinforced by that half-track, but this is looking very, very grim. Stormtroopers securing what they can out here in the west. But no panic for the grenades, no LMG-42s or MP-40s for the false grenades. This is another grenade goes off. Doing nothing though, that seems a bit odd. No idea why he's pulling away the half-track, but not his infantry. This is really bad. And grenade going off at the Rangers. Killing 2. Forcing away the rest. And the Tiger has arrived. Will this Tiger save the day for Axte? Or will it be wasted like he squandered so much else? Which is also going to be the bit that will be the final damning piece of evidence as he's sent to the Eastern Front to serve in a penal battalion fighting at the outskirts of Minsk, trying to hold it in the face of Operation Bagration. Who knows? Though it shall be very damning. And let us go look at Axte as he makes his one last charge. Grenadiers trying to support, but they're not. And the Tiger, of course, advances in without clearing the way. Oh dear, getting sticky bombed already, and Rangers could be hitting the rear with a. Oh dear, and artillery in on the supporting Grenadiers and false Grenadiers and Stormtroopers. Tiger advances, heavy losses for the infantry. Very heavy losses, forcing in their way. Handjacks flying, and several hits to the rear of the Sherman with bazookas. Oh, this is absolutely horrific. 3 Rangers go down, but again, this could have been avoided had he just charged in his Tiger. He needs support. Of course, it is a Tiger, but at the same time, you know, without veterans you want, it can be very vulnerable. Very. And of course, not proper infantry support either. This Tiger is very, very ill. Another sticky bomb. And a hit in the rear, main gun destroyed. And I fear the engine is destroyed, but it is still standing. The Stormtroopers not grenading. They could grenade. They have a bundle grenade, the most effective grenade in the game, in fact, actually. Better than the Pineapple. And the Tiger goes down. Veterans 2 for the Rangers. That was absolutely horrific. Let's just speed up this disaster for the 272nd. Despite having been given a Tiger, he threw it out the window. And now he bloody well uses a grenade. Now! God damn it. And of course, assault now. I mean, really, he's using everything ought to have been used a lot earlier. Infantry getting slaughtered in a hopeless assault. And there we go. Game over. Victory for the 8th Infantry Division in the face of the 272nd Grenadier Division, having lost a Tiger in the process. Oh, so terrible. But there we go. And of course, what can we learn from this besides, you know, being a bit careful with charging in your Tigers like that, without a bit of reconnaissance first? You know what I mean? Be careful literally. Don't clump up your troops like that. Don't, you know, keep units close to your cloaked pack 38 either. Just in case someone crazy maniac calling in artillery at random hits it. That was rather what happened. Otherwise, you know, it might have not have actually done much, but it did. Placement of medic bunkers and medic stations is very important. That was rather one of the major failures of this game. Not enough mining, and of course, certainly clearly could have done that for Axte, who's really didn't use his munitions very well at all, and of course, do not necessarily get veterancy free as soon as possible. Perhaps, you know, consider getting an armored car or a Stu. A Stu can really do a lot for you if you use it properly. Really, it can be a lifesaver. Veterans free, not necessarily against the Germans. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, of course, remember this is a Monday Novice fight. Why not subscribe to tell friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? Of course, look forward to tomorrow where there won't be a Novice Monday fight. Cheers.